Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Unscripted Dad Life. I am Kevin, joined by John.
Hi.
Justin.
What's up, guys?
We appreciate you guys being here. How'd you guys do today or this week? Anything new? Anything happen?
I can't even remember. This week's been crazy.
Nice.
It was my wife's birthday, so I took her on sort of an all-day adventure.
Oh, happy birthday, John's wife. What is it?
Happy late birthday.
So I took her to get a massage and then a pedicure, then shopping, and then to this place called Immersive Game Box where there's like a bunch of VR games where you actually like use your whole body to play games. And then we got a pizza and went home and played Fortnite.
I'll be your wife next year.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. It's usually from dudes. Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my wife's been talking about the VR game box thing. A different place, specifically something to do with the floor tiles, glow.
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
that thing downtown?
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
I think the immersive game box is downtown. There's something.
There's an immersive game box downtown as well.
Yeah.
We went to the one in the Colony.
Is it something you can take kids to too? Or?
Oh, yeah. They have like Angry Birds, Paw Patrol, and other stuff like that. So,
it's like
absolutely.
Giant VR, isn't it?
Yeah. You go into a room that's probably like 10 by 10.
Yeah.
And it's all on the wall, and you do puzzles and stuff like that.
That would be badass.
This jogged my memory. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. That's my wife needed some time to go just walk around. So we went to dropped her off at an antique store that she likes that we don't like, but we love antiquing. And then me and my daughter went next door to one of those little VR hole in the walls, like next door in the same strip. $50 for 30 minutes for the two of us.
Yeah.
And it was fun enough for me to go, I'd like to do this again, but not for that amount of money.
No, the immersive is actually relatively inexpensive. It was like $35 per person, but it's for an hour. So
yeah, see, that already is way better.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Here I am just being proud of P.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, our youngest used the potty for the first time.
Yeah. Way to go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And other than that, they just like to get in their bed, take their pants and their diaper off, and then just pee in there. Oh. So they're getting better. They're at the point now. Yeah. They're at the point now. I feel bad, but they're at the point now where they're trying to use the potty, and I feel bad because we're treating them like training to train our dog. Like, oh, you went potty your poo in this area. Here's a treat. We did the same thing with our youngest. He went potty in the potty, so we gave him some M&Ms.
No, I mean that's how they do it. Yeah, there's nothing to feel bad about.
Yeah,
for that.
You're training them for a life of working in the workspace.
Dude, it was awesome, man. I wasn't here to see it, but it happened today. Loved it. Don't want him to work in the workspace. Want him to stay as a kid as long as possible.
Hey, buddy, welcome to corporate America.
Here's some M&Ms.
Yeah.
There's M&Ms in the break
Guess what?
room.
Pizza party.
That's so bad. But yeah, no, that's all we did. We did go to the Ford's restaurant.
Ford
You've been talking about that. That thing is awesome. They had the old 1920s, 1930s Ford race car inside the restaurant.
Oh, that's cool.
They have a really nice Model T suspended above the bar. They've got really nice old cars out in front with the old gas pump. They have the bubble gas pump inside filled with beer. It was fantastic, and the food was, I'm going back for the food.
Oh, right on. That's cool. That's always good.
It was the first restaurant since I've moved here to Texas, so that was been almost 10 years now. It's the first restaurant where I got a burger medium rare, medium well, and it was actually cooked correctly.
Oh, good.
Usually it's always well or medium, and this time it was perfect.
Your first time in Texas that it's been cooked?
Correct.
Properly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Any other restaurant, it's like either always overdone or underdone, and it's like, meh.
Do you barbecue at home or whatever?
No, my wife is the grill master.
Okay, so there's because I have no point of reference.
I'm talking restaurant wise. I don't mean like home cooking.
Oh, I was gonna say because you do that a lot, so you know the difference. For me, I'd probably just go, okay, I guess this is what it is.
Yeah. No, it was good. I definitely recommend you guys go at least once. If you're into old cars, you'll love it.
They have a Batmobile, a DeLorean, or a Scooby-Doo's van.
If you close your eyes and you wish hard enough, yes.
It still won't be there.
Yeah.
All right.
I can appreciate a classic car, but I don't know if I could spend that much time doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't understand it enough, but looking at it.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know if I could spend enough time like looking at them. Like, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen one, you've seen them all, type thing.
I remember as a kid going to the State Fair of Texas and being super excited the day before, being like, we get to see the car show, and then going and being like, bunch of cool cars, lots of people, and we can't afford any of these.
Yeah.
So,
oh, look, this one has a steering wheel too.
Yeah. As a grown up, I'm like, this is all. remember one year being real excited because they had the new Chrysler, the one that was super swanky for a time.
Oh, that like Big Pun and Fat Joe drove?
Yeah, looked like a...
I think it's Chrysler 300.
300, yeah. Okay, that year, they put out like... I'm screwing this up, but they put out like 6 variations of the exact same thing. So the first one was like, oh, that's sweet. And you get to the next one, it's like, that one's blue.
Yeah.
Like, but they're trying to dance around it and stuff. I'm like, all right.
Kevin, have you been to the State Fair?
No.
Okay. You've been.
Not sure I want to.
I've never been, and I don't want to go.
You've never been?
Never.
Oh, I thought you don't.
No, I don't want to. But the thing that really bothers me about it is the butter sculptures.
I don't like
you know what I'm
having
talking
to do
about?
with food, but I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there's like life-size butter sculptures of like, I don't know, a mermaid.
In the Texas heat?
Yeah. It's
October.
inside somewhere, I would assume.
October in Texas, so it's only like 85 degrees.
I don't know.
Butter still melts at 85.
It's a joke about Texas hot.
It's okay. Hold on, reel it back in, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just the idea of like using a ton of butter to make sculptures like that. It almost reminds me of like the hubris of man and the Tower of Babel. You know, like you could have done this. Did you really have to?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like food is a scarce commodity over a lot of people, and that's always bothered me about any kind of art that has anything to do with food. It's like, man, you could have given that to somebody, but you made a sculpture of a president, and then you're gonna throw it in the dumpster tomorrow. Like,
And it's butter, and it just seems so trashy. Like that's the other thing. Is like this is trashy. Like you go to State Fair, Texas, and it, like I don't know. When you say you're from Texas, it sounds a lot cooler than saying you're from like I don't know.
ooh, insult somebody. Say,
So I'm actually really curious.
Colorado.
So it's made of butter. Does that mean you have to take biscuits? Isn't that a saying in the Southern? Butter in my biscuit.
No, Kevin, that's not.
I think I want to use
I like it.
Yeah. All right.
I was just waiting.
Somebody's going to be listening and be like, wow. And then somebody's going to die laughing.
So who are you gonna insult?
So like a flyover state, like Iowa, right? Like it's way cooler to say
Fuck
I'm
you,
from
Iowans.
Texas versus I'm from Iowa. So like you expect not just in the size sense, but you expect bigger things in Texas.
Yeah.
And like how disappointed would you be? Like, oh my God, I'm going to like the State Fair of Texas for the first time, and they have like fried Snickers and then like butter sculptures. Like that's just weird.
The fried stuff gets crazy every year. Like the fried ice cream one year.
Yeah.
I still don't know. Like
Hasn't
in my
even
head, I'm like, well,
happened.
that's an interesting concept.
Right, yeah.
Why?
It's really unnecessary.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of these butter sculptures, though.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. That does sound pretty, especially in my head, they're outside and flies buzzing around. And
Well, I feel like it's like Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. Like you spent so much time,
yeah.
What is it? You spent so much time deciding that you could, and you really didn't think about if you should.
Yeah, and by the end of the fair, they all start to melt and start to look like Jeff Goldblum and the Fly. So
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, you're trying here, but I get it.
Well, I think my butter was a little bit better. Wait, my biscuit.
No,
let's put it out to the listeners.
Yeah.
I really didn't like either of those, if I'm being honest.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to find these butter sculptures. I'm going to put some pictures of it on Patreon.
Okay.
I'm curious myself.
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds
I
like.
hope the Patreon link just says Google. Just go find it.
No, I'm going to put them up there. Kind of like John's Beard's out there now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, well, on Patreon anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
We getting
It's pretty epic.
any feedback on that?
Yeah, no, not yet.
All right.
But it's still new.
I love those photos.
Give it some time. Dude, I loved it.
It's
It was
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very glad you were okay with sharing.
Have you ever shown those to your kids?
No, thank you.
I don't know.
I wonder what your oldest would say about that.
He'd probably think it's really cool.
Yeah, right on.
I don't want to be like that guy, but you could see those pictures. It'll cost you $1. Go sign up to the Patreon page. It'll unlock for $1, and you're good. You can look at them for a month.
Sorry, docking your allowance.
Yeah. So what are we up to today?
Dude, I don't even know. We've got the fucking cup,
Yay!
or
There we
whatever
go.
it's called, right?
Oh, this reminds me. Since our
Whose turn is it this time?
pre-recording conversation, I was going to try to watch my mouth this episode. So let's see how that goes.
I like how he just broke the seal though, so you're like, yeah.
No, well, I already did once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I can cut it out though.
No.
Sorry, if you're
Starting-
gonna talk like this, so you can watch your mouth all the time.
Starting now.
No?
Tom.
All right.
I don't know whose turn it is.
I think it's mine because I think it was. Yeah, I think it's me.
I don't even know.
All right, go for it.
Get into that cup, man. Read it out. Don't start a fight.
All right, see what we got here.
You okay?
And just a reminder, we're pulling questions out of a cup from our listeners.
I like this one.
Okay.
I think it'll go very quick. Question is, it's anonymous. It says, who is in charge, you or the kids?
Pause, because we don't want to admit the truth on that one.
No. Like,
I've got guesses.
Yeah. What's your guess?
My guess for Kevin is the kids run the house.
Okay.
My guess for John, I think it's a good mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reasoning?
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Oh man, now I put myself in a bad spot.
Do you want us to come back to that? We can all make guesses.
It's harder to control little kids, I think.
Okay.
And you've got a similar relationship with the kid as I do. You've got the mix of friendship and parenthood. So I think that's what leads me to think that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to guess next, or do you want me to?
I'll go ahead.
All right. I think for you guys, your daughter runs the house. Your daughter runs the house.
Interesting. Okay.
And the reason why is because I haven't seen you with your daughter, but I can tell that you'd be wrapped around her finger. And I've seen your daughter already try wrapping you around her.
Okay.
But I think for your boys, it's even. But I think your daughter is eventually.
Everybody's been telling me that, and I'm doing my best to avoid that.
Okay. Right.
Not like on purpose, but like, we can't just do that.
Having a girl brings in a bunch of parents to say all kinds of stuff, specific like, ooh, it's gonna be rough for you. Like all that stuff is locked and loaded. Like,
hold on, let's let John guess. Hold on, don't get too deep.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I really don't have any guesses because I wasn't prepared to guess. So
we were
stab in the dark. I wouldn't either. He just threw it out there, and I'm like, I'll roll on it.
Well, I wanted to know his reasoning behind it. That was the thing. He already said
Did you just dab?
Yeah.
Terrible.
But I will say that above all, we are in charge. Admittedly, I'm kind of the more fun parent, whereas my wife is more the disciplinarian. But she will call me in to get dad voice, on when it's needed. So good mix in that regard. But yeah, you're kind of right. We fool around a lot. They joke around the way I joke around with them.
All of what you just said reminds me of last night. My daughter has gotten really comfortable with walking up, punching me in the gut, and running away.
So you punch her back, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
In the throat, though.
Hey, don't get up until I'm out of the room. No. And yesterday, I don't know. And then yesterday, she got real comfortable with throwing things at me.
Okay. Pots, pans, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. No, like she loves stuffed animals. She's got a ton of stuffed animals, and every single night since she was born, I'll go put her to bed and give her hugs, tuck her, and last night we were hanging out. We like goof off for a little bit before she finally gets in bed, and then last night she just grabbed something, she was turned away from me, grabbed something off of her dresser, turned around and hurled it at me, and it hit me right in the hands, and it was like a stuffed animal with like a hair barrette attached to it.
Yeah.
So a big chunky piece of metal, and it hurt my knuckles. Like it shocked me more than it hurt me. And I reactionary just went, stop throwing things. So we had this hey Dad, what we gonna do tomorrow? Like this fun, sweet little moment. And then suddenly boom, you got hit, you gotta say something. And her face,
I get that though,
goes for, okay, good. Cause I felt horrible. And she went from we're having a good time to I'm gonna throw something at my dad, to as soon as I said that, her everything changed.
Well,
she got emotional and it was clearly jarring, and my response to her being jarred was laughing at her.
Wow. Okay, so there's another layer of this. Okay.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, I go, what's wrong with you? I'm shocked at your response. She's like, stop laughing. Why are you laughing at me? I'm like, well, you've been throwing stuff at me all day, and you punch me in the gut all the time. And she's like, yeah, but I thought we were just having fun. It's like, we were. You ever been in that moment where you
feel like an asshole?
Yeah. You ever been in that moment where you feel like a real dick? No, you feel like normally this is okay, but in this moment it's not. So I don't want to take away that fun. I don't want to take away that spirit, because sometimes it's okay. Mm-hmm. I realize I just stepped in and I screwed up.
Well, no, I don't think you did, because my kids don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it's it's all fun. And then I'm like, okay, stop. Stop this now. I've already said we're done. And it's like that. Now, you did get hit in the hand. I assume it hurt. Your natural reaction is to be, reactionary. I get that. Her natural reaction to you is to be upset about it. that is all fine. There's nothing wrong with any of that, except for maybe the laughing at her part. I got it.
Yeah,
there was a line. And
when I closed the door and left the room, I snickered to myself. I was like, "You fucking laughed. What is wrong? Dang it!"
So
the language.
You laughed at yourself for laughing at your daughter.
Yes, like the whole
So
it was one of those.
Thing about it was just laughter.
Have you ever had a bad moment before you put your kids to bed and then you walk around the corner and you're like, you just kind of sit with it for a second and you're like, that's how the evening ends. That's no only me.
Not even one time has that happened to me.
Well, your kids are little, so
Look, don't get details into the story because then it just completely kills my side. So just stop.
Last night I ruled the roost for a moment and then felt terrible about it later. So
Yeah.
that's for last night.
Was that eventually resolved? Did you talk to her after that?
No, and I told myself
No, he laughed at
tomorrow
her again.
morning when I see her, I'm going to apologize, tell her I overreacted, and I didn't.
Oh, wow.
I was busy all day, and she was in the front room playing video games, watch TV and stuff. So,
So literally no time to talk to her.
yeah, you get it.
Out of curiosity, did you not talk to her because you were busy, or you didn't talk to her because you were just going to laugh
It's
again?
total avoidance.
Yeah.
Like, you remember that thing last night?
Remember last night?
You cried like a baby.
Yeah. Sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong.
I will apologize tonight.
I'm going to text you later. Let's text him later.
Oh, don't do it for us.
No, I'll do it for me, so
There
I
you
feel
go.
better.
No, you got to do it for her.
No, I'll do it for
Nah,
me,
it's
so I feel better.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's already forgotten about it.
This is another one that I can't wait till she listens 10 years from now when I finally give her the okay on all her foul language and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I remember that fucking night. It stuck with me.
Emotionally scarred.
Yeah.
No, so I totally run this place.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If we want to throw toys around, I'm the one that starts it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I don't really start it, but I definitely join in. And then I give them the idea to climb around.
It
Yeah,
doesn't-
no, I don't run anything.
I was saying,
Yeah, no.
it seems less like running
No.
things and more like your wife has 3 kids.
All right,
instead of 2.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. No, but yeah, no, 3 kids. I don't even have anything funny or rebuttal to say. Yeah. No, my wife runs the house. Unfortunately, who did I play footsies with? I liked it. I don't know who it was.
Wasn't me.
Oh, it was.
It's your own foot.
Hey, buddy. Was it you?
So in a serious moment with
Yeah.
your kids, when things go down and
So-
somebody's got to put their foot down.
No, we have been. It's actually been new. It's something we just started a couple months, about a month ago, 2 months ago. Whenever we had that discipline question, that was the same time that we started actually having to put our foot down. Now what we're trying to figure out is the potty training side of it. Because good, they're going to the potty. I can't even talk. But they're also going in their bed. They're not just going in their bed to go in their bed. They're like taking off their clothes, taking off their diaper, and just like letting the hose flow. So
Like, okay, hold up, because I just want to know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's on purpose that they're peeing in their bed.
Well, I think so.
So are they like standing on their pillow and just like, you know what, I'm just gonna piss here?
That I don't know.
Or are they
Just
like
to-
laying down and like maybe it accidentally happens or?
Don't know. The first 2, it only happened 3 times. The
Okay.
first 2, they were at Dana and Papa's house, and we were all at work. And then it was today while I was at work, but my wife was home, and I guess he just stood up in his bed and got a little bit. So we don't know. I mean, we don't want to punish him for that because he's learning how.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's something eventually we're going to have to run. At some point, we had to do something right because whenever there's a big mess and we start cleaning it up, they tell us, no, I got it. And then they start picking it up for
Oh
us.
yeah, that's right.
So at some point we did something right, or I say we, but it's really my wife.
What are you talking to him? What are you saying when you're having the conversation about him? Like, you can't do that. That's not-
Yeah, I mean, we just talk to them like they're like adults.
I understand.
It seems to work. Oh yeah, they, we've never once talked to them like they were babies. We talked to them like they were adults from day one. Just like I'm talking to you guys now. We read to them like as soon as we possibly could, even though they had no idea what was going on. And yeah,
I constantly tell my 1-year-old daughter about the mass access to information is going to be humanity's downfall. So I totally get it.
And what does she think of it? What's her take?
Well, she's kind of silent on the matter.
just wait. She's just holding back to tell you everything.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I've heard those stories before about kids doing exactly that, getting up, pulling their diaper off and peeing in their own bed. Like, I've always wondered, like, what's going through their head? 'Cause I don't think that's a rare thing.
You guys never went through that when your kids were potty training at all?
Nope.
Really? Not even with your 2 boys?
Nope.
You never had?
Oh, well,
Peeing in the bed.
Okay, peeing in the bed. Like,
Well, I mean, like-
but when they're asleep, but like,
Yeah, no, I mean like when they're
consciously,
awake,
pulling,
taking their pants off the diaper. Yeah,
No,
never?
Wow. Are your kids in a crib still?
Yes.
Okay, so they wouldn't be able to get out of bed, come to the room, knock on the door, and say, I gotta go.
I think Justin just figured it out
Yeah, I think so. Well,
Why?
they
because they can't get out.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, where are they supposed to go?
I don't think they know how yet to tell us they have.
Well,
right.
You've
because
been
that's
potty training.
totally different.
They know that that's where you go.
We've been trying to potty train.
But you've been working on it. And then in the middle of the
Slowly,
night, this is going to sound so stupid and antithetical to all the people that I've said, hey, don't act like being a dog parent is being a parent. But I've always felt that way about animals. Like you put them in a cage and then scold them when they don't go potty out in the yard. But that's where you told them that's where it's supposed to go. So I wonder, don't turn this into, or don't make it sound like
He's asking you to put a bell on their cribs so that they can ring it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or if they're at that point yet, maybe you can. My daughter's crib had you could take the front panel off
to make it like a day bed.
Yeah,
that's what we have. Yeah.
Maybe it's time for that. Maybe they can get up in the night and go do that.
If we did that, because they're sharing rooms, they would never go to bed.
Oh, they'd eventually fall over.
You got to pick one then.
Yeah, it's true. We do.
I'm just a thought.
Yeah, and that was kind of part 2 I want to talk to you
I like the
about
bell
today.
though. That's a good idea.
I was actually wholeheartedly joking, so I'm surprised that you got it.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
It's like, well, okay.
Did not sound
Notification. I don't know about a bell, but maybe there's something that they could maybe just tell them, hey, scream real loud.
They love playing on the iPad, so maybe we can just give them like a little help, or peace.
Just again, like dogs.
Something. Yeah. Dogs can't. Okay.
Yeah, have you seen them? Like,
they got the little easy buttons
on the,
Yeah.
on
Do
the
they
ground.
really?
Yeah. I mean,
They're basically talking now. It's insane what's going on out there. Yeah.
Huh. No, didn't know. But yeah, no, that was the next question is when did you guys change from a crib to a bed? Because I think, so we have potty training is this milestone. Our next milestone, I think, is crib to bed.
One might help the other. I want to say it was 3 or 4 for my daughter when we went to a bed she was able to get in and out of.
We'd really have to baby-proof that room, though.
Sleeping has never been an issue for my daughter, though. Yeah, we never had any issue trying to get her to go to
What's
sleep.
that like?
Amazing. The key is you just have one.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding.
Well, we made a boo-boo.
Yeah, I mean, if I had my best friend, same age as me, sleeping in the same room with me every night, I'd never sleep either, so I get it.
Mine were 1 or 2. As soon as they could climb out of the crib is when we changed it to a day bed.
We've been lucky because we've been using sleep sacks. They haven't climbed out of the crib yet, but they do climb. So I got worried because there used to be a small bookshelf next to one of their cribs where we kept all their newborn toys and some books. And it was right where if he climbed out, he was going to knock his head on that sharp corner. So we took that out because I feel like he's going to climb out at any time now.
Yep, it'll happen.
I'm hoping not because that's pretty high up. That's a big fall. I'm going to worry the crap out of it.
Take care of it now and take the front off.
Or you put a pail, like a little bucket in the crib.
They're not in
Like
jail,
a prison.
Yeah. He picks it up, throws it across.
That's exactly what he would do. He's like, I'm going to pee in this. I'm going to throw it at brother.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Because that's what they do now. They pass their toys back and forth. They're starting to use pillows and blankets. And my Lord, did we make a mistake yesterday? So they've gotten used to pillows and blankets, and they're very much babies of habit. So last night we forgot them at Nana and Papa's house.
Oh, man.
And it was bedtime. Oh my God.
Yeah, I see where
Couldn't
this is
go to
going.
bed without the pillow.
Yeah.
We found blankets, but nope, those aren't the right blankets. They don't look like the ones we're always using. So we tried telling him it was dirty. That didn't go over too well.
Yeah.
So holy cow.
That is one thing that just frustrates the shit out of me about kids and toddlers. Like, just take this fucking blanket.
It does
You
the
know what
same
I'm saying?
thing.
Like, I get it, but you're being so irrational.
Yeah, it's, man, I was like, okay, they're going to wear themselves out eventually. And I just walked out. Like, I don't have time. I have the time. I just didn't want to.
I think that's the lesson is just give up and let them handle it.
Yeah. So the kind of thing I was going to talk to you, unless you guys want to talk more about the who's in charge.
No, I'm good. I think this is
So who's in charge of your house? You?
Yeah,
you and mom or
me and mom for sure.
You
Like
and mom.
I think it's parents.
I know you're going to, John, you're going to say you and mom, but I saw you got, well, maybe it was just a fluke at the party or at the barbecue, but it seemed like you were joking and cool and the friend, and then mom was the disciplinary.
Depends on what they're doing. Proximity.
At least for the baby, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, it's the same for us. I think we both strive to be
I
the cool, fun one. Like we talk. Every time I talk about this show with my wife, I'm always like, "Yeah, John referred to you as the fun one." She's like, "Yeah, because I'm the fucking fun one." So
for me and my wife, it's a matter of like playing not it. Whoever says it first, then the other person has to go do it.
yeah, that's fair.
I can see that. Yeah. And then for us, it's my wife hands down because I just instigate. investigate and then join in. Like, oh my God. Speaking of, so the best thing ever. So my brother, the boy's uncle, they got these big foam freaking brick block things. They're the most amazing thing ever. I don't remember what they're called. But the boys now have learned that they can stack them up and make a tower and a wall.
Oh, that's cool.
And then my wife a while back got these little plastic shopping cart with a whole bunch of little plastic food in it. They like having food fights now. So they'll take the food and they'll...
Plastic pieces?
Yeah. So, well, they're hollow. But we'll hide. They have mommy hide behind one wall, daddy hide behind the other, and then they just go back and forth throwing food at each other, knocking the wall over. It's the best food fight thing ever. They love playing. They love having food fights, and that's what they call it. Food fight. Food like, fight. Okay,
nice.
It's great. Don't know who instigated that. Me. But yeah, so they do that. So okay, so I was going to talk to you guys about like what's the next milestone, because we're now getting to where the boys are growing quick. You guys have both already been through this. You're about to go through it again. So we got potty training. What's next that we need to prepare for, and what advice would you guys have? Or not maybe advice, but more of like a, hey, this is what we went through. This is what, that not only we're going to go through, but other new parents, for in the same age that we are. What would you guys recommend? And what's to come? Because that's my biggest fear is I don't know. And I think that might be a part of why I don't sleep is because I am afraid of them falling out of the bed and me not hearing it.
That took a long time for me to stop worrying about my daughter sleeping at night. So that you'll have that for many years, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah. What's next? Wait, hold on. So when you say next steps, you mean for us individually?
Well, as parents and kids, what are they going to go through next? Like from now until 5 when they're more self-sufficient?
Yeah, some people
take. So for the next 2 years, because there are going to be 3 here in a couple of months. So.
You remember when you turned 18 and you suddenly had like you had 16, then you could drive. 18, then you could vote and you could smoke. 21, you could drink, and then after 21, there was like nothing except for like an insurance break at 25.
Just real quick, I did all of those at 16 except vote.
God, you had a hard life.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Do you remember when you guys had a normal pace life?
I can tell you now, those numbers are not what followed in my life.
So, but you'll understand the premise, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
Because I was going to say,
we don't condone it.
The way I view this, I think there's like, once my daughter turned 5, there was a lot of little like natural milestones, and then there was first grade, second grade, third grade.
Yeah. It's not worried about the school stuff, but
no, I know, but that's kind of how you.
That's kind of how you measure it.
Yeah, milestones come in grades at a certain point. The same way I look back at my life, I was around 3rd grade when.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, I think the next milestone for me is probably what we already talked about last week. My daughter dating. Probably that.
I meant for us. Like, what advice would you have for us?
Oh, for you?
Well, what do we have coming up besides, like, right now they're potty training. Next step is obviously the bed.
Hang on, time out. When you say us, who are you referring to?
New parents, 2-year-olds going on to 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Anybody. Like, what should we be getting ready? Because you guys have been through.
That's such a big open question.
You're damn right it is, man. It's mine. Welcome.
That age range revolves a lot around like moving. We lived in an apartment for about a year while the house was being built. That was a weird little adventure.
Maybe somebody else is going through that. So how did it go for you?
Apartment life is no place for a family.
That's my phone.
I would say that the biggest thing that I wanted to do with each of my kids from an early age was get them into activities of some sort. One, just to help them build their own independence, and then 2, for them to socialize with other kids. You know what I mean? Because my oldest, he could make friends with a shoe. You know what I mean? Like, he's always just been like super open, super social with everybody. My middle, not so much. He is... he used to be super standoffish, did not want to talk to anybody. His face was stoic anytime, like, take him to like, Legoland, and like you would have thought he was having the worst time ever. Because he's just got a blank stare on his face, right? Now he has opened up, and it was so funny because the other day, I can't remember if I've told you, but he loves sharks and knows all kinds of stuff about sharks.
That's cool.
And so he's told me like a few, like two between 3 and 5 random facts about sharks. And then at the end of that, he was like, yep, so when I go to my new school, I've got those locked and loaded for whenever somebody comes up to me and talks to me.
Nice.
So like he understands the dynamic now, and he's like, that's how I'm going to make friends, is sharing shark facts.
I will say, every time we're all together, of course, your oldest and my daughter get along real well easily, but your middle makes a very cool effort to be like, hey, what's going on? He's hey, well, you want some of this stuff I got, or hey, you want to go over here? Like, it's I always love when he's around.
He's grown to be a very articulate kid.
Yeah,
like the conversations he and I have, I'm like, dude, how old are you? You know, because it kind of blows me away with some of the stuff that he comes up with.
Is he the one that knows the Fortnite thing, speed level?
All
whatever?
Kids know about the Fortnite thing.
No,
yeah, you'll have
putting him in lobbies and leveling up when you're not really playing.
Oh, they both do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both exploiting it.
Yeah, because as soon as you said that, and I was like, well, one of your sons was doing that, and he was like trying to help everybody at the party with how.
Okay, so that was my oldest.
That was the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He finds exploits on YouTube. He's like, guess what? I just jumped 70 levels. Bye, nerds.
If it was 20 years ago, your oldest would be like a Disney Channel star. No fucking question. He had a birthday party at his house a couple years ago, and there's all these grown-ups sitting on the back patio, having a smoke and a drink, just hanging out and having a good time. And suddenly, there's this little child in the middle of the group, just starts doing the best Michael Jackson impersonation anybody's seen, and everybody's like, all right, we're doing this now. Let's go. And then it was amazing. It was awesome. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing with my daughter as well, who is one. We're taking her to this sort of gymnastics place for toddlers, trying to get her
already.
Trying to get her acclimated to other people. I'm taking her to story time where there's other kids there. So yeah, just trying to get her used to it, because like she only has her older brothers, and her, you know, the youngest one is still like 9 years older than her. And so, you know,
what day do you do story time?
Huh?
What day do you do story time?
Wednesdays and Fridays.
My wife takes my kids to story time, but on
yeah. What is this like at a bookstore?
It's at a public library. I go to the Wiley and Saxe one.
Oh, okay.
And they have story time. It's a big sort of classroom setting, no desks or anything, just a big open room, and
you sit on the floor.
Yeah, whichever librarians or librarian assistants are there will tell a story, and they do sign language, and you know, the letter of the week and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
My kids love it. The one here in Richardson has a giant fish tank.
That's
the boys
cool.
love doing that.
Is that the one they've got like the big metal sculptures of like paper dolls kind of on the outside of it?
I'm going to say yes, but I've never been, so I don't know.
Arapahoe?
Yes.
They got really cool Christmas displays every year that
that's so that's
for the listeners not local. Arapahoe is a street name around here.
Yeah.
That is not a joke about anybody.
It's not what you do to somebody at Christmas.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a...
Did you just explain the joke after you made it?
Yeah.
It is his way.
So yeah, that's what we're doing with the daughter. I would say the next step is, she's one, so and she's walking a lot now, so just getting her more fine-tuned with her motor skills, and getting her to be friends with people, with other kids, and then just see where it goes from there. I'd assume potty training at some point after that.
Yeah.
She's eating like a champ.
Yes, she does. Yeah,
the pictures you're putting up on social media is like, my kids still don't eat that.
Well, that was a big thing. My wife wanted to make sure that, like, because the boys are picky eaters. My middle one is especially a picky eater. And so she's like, hell no. Like, this one is going to eat everything off of my plate, and she's going to have, like, a very well-cultured palate before, it just becomes chicken nuggets and fries.
The picky eating is such a weird point for me, because I feel like at a certain point in my adult life, like trying new things and like weird foods, and like I've gone to restaurants before, like, you got a weird cheese, and they're like, yeah, some crazy monster. I'm like, fuck it, give it to me. Whether I like it or not, at least I tried it, and I know, that's a cool little milestone in my eating. So like when my daughter eats her 10th turkey and cheese sandwich in a row, and I've tried so hard to let her get her to try something else, it's like, dude, this is like the greatest joy ever to just try something new. So what if I don't like it? I'm like, yeah, you might not, but
that's why we try and stress to them as well, because like for a long time my wife was making dinner for the most part, and she would have to make like 3 separate meals. I'm like, dude, knock that off. Like they need to get on the program and freaking, like, they can either eat or like make a sandwich, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just too much.
Can I tell you something that we do that I've always had a small amount of shame around? If my wife doesn't feel like cooking, we all go, all right, free for all. We're going to go.
Oh, yeah. Fend for yourself night.
Fend for yourself night. Yeah. Which most of the time, if we were good, we'd do leftovers from the night before. We'd make a sandwich. A lot of times we'll just hop in the car, pick up food, and we will drive half an hour to get to where all the good stuff is in McKinney. And then my daughter likes like 2 places, and my wife eats vegan and I don't. So sometimes I'll eat what she eats, sometimes I won't. So we'll end up going to 3 different places and then stopping for special fries on the way or something. So we'll go to a bunch of different places. And I don't mind. It really doesn't. It's like it doesn't bother me at all to do that. But at the same time, I have this like even on nights where my wife cooks, my daughter's not gonna eat it. She's still like we at least say you're making your own sandwich if you're not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna prepare her another meal.
Yeah, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah,
but it took a little bit to get there.
Which the whole like expecting mom to make the meal and you be home and sitting at the that's an outdated thing for us at least.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna expect my wife to do anything like that.
Sure.
But in the back of my head, I have a little bit of like there was always like 6:30 we'd all go home, get the table. But we all do, like, we don't eat at the table, but we all do sit in the living room, watch a show together, talk. Yeah, I feel bad about doing, like, everybody gets their choice.
What do you mean everybody gets their choice?
Well, I think there's something to this is what was prepared, and we're all eating gruel. If that's what it was, we're all eating gruel tonight, and you eat what was provided for you. I think there's something to that. We all kind of, it's almost like a commiseration thing. It's like, oh, you remember when mom used to make that meat?
Oh, yeah.
We all have that thing, but like everybody getting what they want, you don't have that community, that joint familiar part of it. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Clearly.
I'm trying to get what you're thinking, but I think I get it.
Yeah.
But so in our house, they have to at least try what either me or my wife make. And
do the bite. Yeah. Take at least one bite.
Yeah. And we do that too to an extent, but my daughter will like literally imagine a peanut with no salt on it, and she's never had a peanut before. She'll stick her tongue to it and go, I don't like that.
Oh, no.
Our youngest does that.
Yeah, a dry food that has no flavor on the outside.
Like, pick your battles and whatnot. No, but I will go to war with my kids over that. I'm like, that is not, no. Take a bite. You will sit here all night, and then before you leave this table, there's
I remember nights where I wasn't allowed to leave the table until like finally my parents were like, you got school tomorrow.
Yeah, I hate to be like an old school parent like that, but like try new things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I can't stand that. Like, dude, you're not getting enough nutrients and vitamins out of chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah. I have a memory of sitting at the table. My grandma was canning squash when I was a kid, and I hated squash. And my mom was real excited to cook the squash that my grandma had like grown and canned and everything. And she made it, and I took one bite and vomited all over the table. Like everybody, it was one of those where everybody scoots back and goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And I cry, like it's one of those, so you got it all coming out your nose, your mouth, and I eat them. Don't tell Mama that I puked up her squash.
That's hilarious. But you tried it.
I tried it.
But
and ruined everybody else. Yeah, exactly.
I will say my wife has expanded my taste palette. However, one time she made, I think we were trying to eat much healthier, so she made spaghetti out of squash.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew right away I wasn't going to like it.
That's weird.
And I'm not going to lie, I looked like a little kid because I put it together and, I took a bite and I was like, nope, this tastes exactly like I thought it would. I do not like it. And she got mad at me. She was pissed that I didn't like it. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I knew what this was going to be.
Yeah.
And I tried it. And it's exactly how it is.
Have you ever had tried a new meal that your wife cooked, and then you have that experience where you're like, oh, this is not good, I'm just gonna have to choke it down, and then they finally speak up and go, yeah, this is not very good. You go, oh, thank God.
Yeah, sometimes we're pretty honest with each other though. Maybe this could use a little, I don't know, maybe a salt or something,
or throw the trash and take out.
My wife is harder critic on herself than I am. It'll be good. She's like, no, it's terrible. It's like, all right, well, I'll eat it then.
My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law do the same thing.
If she puts mushrooms in it, though, no,
you don't
that's
like
a hard fact. Dude, why would I want to eat fungus?
Because I didn't like it until I was a grown-up, but I like mushrooms.
No.
I'm relatively indifferent about mushrooms, but I do not like the consistency of them.
Yeah, no, it's too spungy. I can't do it. Not
I really like a fresh, dry, uncut mushroom. Just pop them. They're good.
Yeah.
Baby Bella.
Well, we have a lot of mushrooms that grow in our yard. You're more than welcome to just...
Okay.
The last time I did,
they might be poisonous, but we'll find out if you get up.
No, I don't think so. They'll be fine. Just look it up.
I died in Kevin's yard.
Nah. Last time I did, though, was really weird. I tripped for 15 hours. It was...
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
You just tie your shit.
Oh, my God. I'm so done.
Crazy. Just can't talk too much about Santa, but we can talk about mushroom tripping. That's great.
Yeah, that's terrible. We're definitely going to have to edit all that out.
The pain of that joke is searing into my brain.
You're welcome.
It's not even a joke.
Every time I hear anything, you tripping, I'm gonna immediately look at their feet.
Dude, you have to. You're like, why are you stuck together?
I'm really upset right now.
That's okay. You're welcome to my wife's world. Yeah.
I would resent you so much.
That's okay. We'll talk later. It's okay. Without just
Resentment's never been a deal breaker.
it could be.
What else we do?
No, but seriously, okay, so walking, yours is dating. What about your boys?
Going to new schools because we just moved, and so handling bully situations, knowing when to be mindful of adults and kids, to not get into situations or recognize situations that could be potentially harmful for them.
So was it new school district, or they just went from like middle school to high school?
Both.
Okay.
So my oldest is going to middle school in a new school district, and my middle child is going to a new school in a new school district.
Did they finish off last year at the previous school district?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Did you ever give them advice for like, okay, what to expect? Because now none of your friends are at this school.
Yeah, and it sucks. I hate that for them, because essentially they have to make new friends. They might have some friends there because we lived in Wiley before.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's one thing I can't stand. I feel so awful about. And so yeah, I've prepped them to let them know that like, hey, you might not have friends there, but I know you'll be able to make friends rather easily. I think my middle child will be okay with it, but I think my oldest child, he puts a lot of his self-worth into what other people think about him, like even at his young age. So I think he's going to have a harder time if things don't go perfectly. And so I am worried about that.
He'll be fine. My kid, he's going to be fine.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay. He's got you. You seem to know.
Thank you. Most of the time. Sometimes I don't.
The thing you're saying about how they interact with adults and stuff, that's been going on in my head a lot. I've had a couple conversations with my daughter where I'll like premise the conversation with, look, I want to congratulate you on your punk rock attitude and telling adults they're liars and stuff, but you need to chill the fuck out.
Oh, no, for
baseball.
It's not like that for me. It's like, hey, if, especially if it's like a drop-off party, birthday party at somebody's house, then, I'll be like, hey, at no point should you ever be alone in a room with an adult.
Definitely.
If anybody, tries to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, adult or kid otherwise, and then tries to tell you to keep a secret.
Yes.
Friends don't keep secrets. Adults shouldn't be keeping secrets to kids, stuff like that.
We've had that exact conversation with my daughter. Did I tell you, she spent the night with a friend that we didn't know very well a while back, and we picked her up the next day. I've actually wanted to bring this up and get y'all's opinion on it. We picked her up the next day, and then every time we ever pick her up from her friend's house, she throws a fit. She doesn't want to go. Not throw a fit, but she'll hide somewhere, and we got to talk to the parent for a while and all that. As soon as we get back in the car, she tells us, my friend's parents left, went to go get Starbucks, and then they came back. The Starbucks right around the corner, probably a 20-minute thing. Never left my daughter alone. So these parents decided to leave my daughter and their daughter alone, which probably fine, probably old enough.
Yeah.
First big problem to me is they didn't ask us, like whether or not we're comfortable with that. I feel like some parents make decisions for you sometimes, and that's one of them. And the second problem is apparently at one point, my daughter's friend says, I know where my mom keeps her gun.
Oh.
Which
Whoa.
could be totally innocent and trying to show off, but I've heard a lot of stories that start off like that. So that's all bad, right?
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. No. And I've had the gun talk, because that's one of my hobbies. I like to go to the range, and I've absolutely had the gun talk. Like, what do you do if, like, one of your friends, like, is showing off a gun?
Yeah.
And they're, leave the room immediately, call me, get to an adult, whatever, But yeah, no, you're not out of line at all. I mean, it's especially today. That's
We're
something
trying to
that
taper
gives me
off and I bring up this big conversation.
No.
I'm not tapering off. This is a good topic.
Yeah.
That's I'd say you're right on the money. That would make me have a discussion with the parents.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the parents are very pleasant people. Like, I really like them a lot. I wasn't mad at my daughter's friend because she's young. She doesn't know what, except for what's been told to her on a topic like that.
Sure.
It made me mad at the parents because they just didn't have a responsibility conversation with her.
Right, yeah.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Well, there's good news. Eventually, her parents are going to listen to this.
Yeah, no, and that's why I kind of hesitated to bring it up in the past.
No,
But
you're fine, buddy.
But like I said, I really like them. They're very nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like they dropped the ball on that, especially because on the topic of milestones and every new thing, I feel like me and my wife know that something's about to happen. There's been a couple of them in the last year or so where they just kind of, hey, there's this new opportunity. It's either now or never. So you just send them on their way at best. That happens from time to time. But any other time where we have an opportunity and go, okay, this weekend she's going to do this new thing that she's never done before and we've never had to be so vulnerable, like something like this. Me and my wife always end up going, okay, today you're going to the water park. These people, you need to make sure this. We go through the whole conversation and we're like racking our brains trying to think of, okay, what have we not covered here?
Right, yeah.
And to think that parent is having new kids over and not having a similar conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Different parenting stuff.
True.
I was left home alone when I was.
Yeah, me too. And then I've had that. To be fair, we've recently started to kind of play with the idea of me and my wife are just going to go up and Starbucks ourselves and act. And my daughter's kind of like, really, I'll go home alone? I don't know. Yeah. But I had 2 older brothers and a younger sister, so home alone meant something different, I think, for us.
I think so. Like, I don't know, it might have been different too, because as a kid, 20 minutes is forever.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it was like for me when I was 10, 11, is it was just, we're going to go up the street, come right back. So it could have felt like 4 hours, but it was.
Well, I think the other thing is that, like, they made that decision for you.
That's
so like they did not have your consent to do that. And if anything, like, you know, this, I don't want to say this is catastrophizing so much, but like if they would have gotten into a car wreck, there's nobody at home besides the kids. And, you know, kids don't have a concept of time, you know, like the parents aren't home. They just might not ever show up and the kids won't ever know it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's better ways to handle that in my opinion.
And in my head, it was an easy fix to go, or to fix my problem with this, for the parent to just send us a text and go, hey, we're thinking about running off to Starbucks real quick. Are you okay with us leaving them here for take us 10 minutes? We'll be right back.
You could check in with your daughter.
Just that checking in. You remember that Freakonomics thing years and years ago? I'll scratch all that. But they made a point there to say it wasn't so much what they did or didn't do as much as they took the consideration to think about it.
Right.
That means something to me. If the parent says, if the parent felt that it was necessary to reach out to me, that tells me that they're responsible enough to understand what they're doing. Is
absolutely.
Weird, but they didn't.
Right.
So the opposite was achieved. And the gun thing just kind of wild to me.
Yeah, that wouldn't sit right with me at all.
Yeah.
No. On that note.
On that fun note.
Do you know what we really need?
Go home.
We need to sign off.
We need to sign off. See you guys next week.
See y'all later.
Bye.